What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Connor's College Football Predictions. Now, last week, just when I thought I was going to go undefeated, of course, USC has to pull off one of the biggest upsets of the year and beat Stanford. So that got me really mad. I went 2-1. So my fingers are crossed. I'm hoping to go undefeated this week. I have another 3 games picked out for you, so I'm going to get started with those right now. First off, we have Texas A&M versus LSU. Now, back in week 3, I think it was, week 3. Week 2, week 3. I'm not quite sure. Johnny Manziel and Texas A&M, they lost to Alabama. But Johnny Manziel in that game was absolutely incredible. 464 yards, 5 touchdowns, and he almost had another 100 yards on the run. Now, we all know that Alabama is the best defense in the country. So if Johnny Manziel could put up those numbers against Alabama, I don't see any reason why he can't do that against LSU. Also, in his somewhat short career, on the road, Johnny Manziel averages about 325 yards per game in the pass and 116 yards on the run. He just gets the job done on the road. I think he does the same in this game. Also, you have to look at the fact that Texas A&M, offensively, not just Johnny Manziel, they're playing in the best defensive conference in the country, in the SEC. And they have yet to score under 40 points this year. I mean, that is just amazing. They score over 40 points in every single game. And they're in the SEC, the best defensive conference in the country. So that's just incredible. I have to go Texas A&M in this one. I think that Johnny Manziel leads this offense into Death Valley. They pull away with the win. Next up, it's our big game of the week. It's Baylor versus Oklahoma State. Now, Baylor, offensively, they are first in the country in points per game, third in the country in passing yards, and they're also ninth in the country in rushing yards. That is just fantastic, what they're doing on offense. Now, Oklahoma State, they are 81st in the country in pass yards allowed. So I do think that Bryce Petty could have his way with this Oklahoma State defense. But speaking of Bryce Petty, yes, we all know that he's been amazing this year. He's definitely putting up Heisman numbers. But this offense, it's not all him. I mean, he has great running backs in Lasse Strunk, Shock Linwood, wide receivers like Tevin Reese. I mean, they're all contributing. This offense has so many key players, it's just hard to stop. And they're so balanced. Like last week against, who was it? Texas Tech, that was it. They had 675 yards on offense. 335 were passing, and 340 were rushing. I mean, you can't get any closer than that. I mean, it is just such a balanced offense with the pass and the run. It is so hard to stop. I really don't see any defense in the Big 12 being able to stop this Baylor offense because, I'm not a huge fan of the Big 12 just because they don't play any defense. I definitely don't think that Oklahoma State will be able to stop them. So the only way Oklahoma State can win this game is if they outscore Baylor, which is definitely going to be hard, mainly because Baylor scores so many points, but also because Baylor is 7th in the country in points allowed. They don't allow points that much. They're tied for 6th in the country in sacks, and they're also 2nd in the country in tackles for loss. So defensively, especially the defensive line, they get the job done. I think that they could cause some trouble for this Oklahoma State offense in the backfield. I have to go with Baylor. I think they stay undefeated, and I think that they continue their BCS National Championship run. Now it's time for the Night Train, lock of the week, and it is Missouri over Ole Miss. Now, Missouri's quarterback James Franklin has been out the past couple of games. He is questionable for this game. If they get him back, that's great. But if they don't, it really doesn't matter because Matty Mock has been doing an insane job. He has 910 yards, 10 touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions in his first 4 games as a starter. And the interception is really surprising me because you have to remember, he's a freshman. 2 interceptions in 4 games. It's not too shabby. Now, Ole Miss, they're 77th in the country in fewest sacks allowed. Their offensive line, they struggle a lot. And that is key because Missouri is third in the nation when it comes to getting sacks. So with a weak offensive line and a very strong Missouri defense, I think that Missouri could cause some trouble for Ole Miss. And I think that with the way that the offense has been playing and the strong defense when it comes to sacks, I think that they can bring down Ole Miss. Missouri gets the win. And that's it for me. So I will see you guys next week. Peace.